per day I used to solve 300 questions. If you want to come work in the Middle East, you also need to do something they call Prometric test. It's just the same as NCLEX, what you hear, things like that. I've been posting a series of all the processes you need to go through if you want to work in the Middle East, specifically Saudi Arabia. Now, YouTube channel. If this is the first time you're watching this video, I'm Regina, a registered nurse, and thank you so much for reaching out on my YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out for the next coming videos. I've been posting videos inspiring nurses to get their dream job in their dream location and like to enjoy the nursing experience. That's what I mean. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you. For those who want to come, like, work abroad, let's say, for those who want to work in the Middle East, countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Oman, if you want to come work in these places, the process is the same. Actually, the process is the same. You also need to do data flow. Like, you will have to register yourself in their commission, things like that. So the processes are almost the same. So if you want to come work in the Middle East, you will also need to do something they call Prometric test. It's just the same as NCLEX, what you hear, things like that. The exams that we do for our license. So before you come to work here, you also need to sit for your test. Now, when it comes to how do you book your test now, we have got our eligibility number. After you've done Mumaris in 3 days, I'm actually happy because from the tutorial I did showing you how to do your registration in Saudi Commission for Health Specialties, the one they call Mumaris, I did that for one of the nurses, and within 3 days she got her eligibility number to go and book for the Prometric test. Now, how long does this Prometric, how long is this eligibility number valid? When you get your number, when you get the feedback and you have got it now, they have given you an eligibility number to do the exam. That eligibility number is valid for the whole year, which means they give you a whole year. Within that year, you need to do your exam, which is really good because some people, when after they have gotten the eligibility number, if they feel like they don't have centers in their country, their employer can allow them to like travel, come to Saudi or go wherever they are going so that they can come and like do the exam from Saudi Arabia or whichever country that you're going, if it's Dubai, if it's Oman, if it's Qatar. Now, in my opinion, I would advise you to do the exam when you're still in your home country because, one, when you come here, you'll be given shifts just like other nurses. No one cares you'll be having like, you have not done your licensure exam or things like that. When you come here, yeah, when things are ready, you'll be working. It's not like you come here and you'll be given like 2 months to just sleep and eat so that you can prepare exam. No. You're going to get shifts just like everybody else. Now, when you come from the shift, you're tired and things like that. I mean, it's really hard. Just do the exam when you're still in your home country. You'll have less things to worry about. I mean, instead of just coming and saying, I'm going to do the exam maybe when I'm already there. In my advice, in my opinion, if you feel like you just want to come here and for you working and studying for the exam at the same time, it's not a big issue, then go ahead and do it. But please, if you feel like there is no rush, just do the exam when you're still in your home country, because when you come here, you're relaxed, you're just enjoying the flow, you're enjoying your shifts, you don't have anything to worry about, like I have an exam and things like that, I'm not prepared. I mean, that's what I mean. Just do the exam and you will thank me later. You will travel happily. And when it comes to this licensure test. Mostly it's 3 attempts. You do it once. If you fail, you do it again. They will allow you to do it again. When you fail, they will give you the 3rd chance to do the exam. When you fail on your 3rd attempt, they'll return you back home. You go back to your home country, because now, I mean, you don't have a license, and they are giving you time to do it. I mean, they are giving you time to get your license, and you can get it. I hear like you go back to your home country, even if I've not seen anyone fail the Prometric exam, but I have heard that people who fail, you go back to your home country. So is it true that people come here without license before they do their Prometric test and they start working? Yes, it is, absolutely. But at the time you're working, they'll tell you to like save a day or 2 days where you need to go and sit for your exam so that you get your license. That is true. People work here when they have only the eligibility number, yes, but you will need to go and do that exam so that you can get your license, if you get what I mean. So that's it. Another thing is having to check your Prometric location. Now, there are a lot of locations all around the world that, I mean, people go to do their Prometric test. I'll actually put the link on this video, the link that shows all the test centers or Prometric test centers that are available, so that you can check the country that you're in and the center where you can go and do the exam. I'm going to put that link. Now, when you're choosing the location to go and sit for your Prometric exam, make sure you choose the location that is not very far, the location that is convenient to you, the location that has all the facilities. Please do your research to make a follow-up on that location if you can. Like, try to understand that location. Make sure the location is closer to you. Most of the time, the approved locations are actually nice. They have all the computers, they have all the equipments to help you do your exam, because it's not paper-based, it's a computer-based exam. Make sure you know how to use the computer, the desktop computer mostly, because you're going to be using the mouse. So make sure you know how to use the computer. Do not book a Prometric test if you don't know how to use the desktop computer, you don't know how to use the mouse. I mean, it's a computer-based exam. You need to know those things. But it's not a big deal. Like most nurses or healthcare providers know how to use computers, so I'm not worried about that. But now, when it comes, if you're Tanzania and you want to do the exam, now in Tanzania we do not have this Prometric test centers. That's one. And I remember I took my exam when I was still in my home country, but we do not have Prometric centers in Tanzania. So what I did was trying to search in East Africa. Now I had to go outside my country, search in East Africa. Is there any country with a Prometric test center? Yes, and it was Kenya, in Nairobi. That's where I did my exam. So if you're Tanzanian and you want to do the exam, you have to book the exam in Kenya, go in Kenya and do the exam, instead of coming here without doing the exam. If you're East African and you want to do the exam, thanks to Kenya, they have that center. You can go there and do the exam. Now, when it comes to costs, the cost of doing the Prometric test costs as for 2025, it costs 289 what's this, US dollars. Now this is not Saudi Riyal, this is 289 US dollars. You're going to pay for that money when you're booking the exam online. It's not like you're going at the center and like giving them cash or having to pay at the test center. No, you will need to book the exam and choose the test center, choose the time that will be shown in that website, in that location that they are going to show you. Maybe I'll post another video on how to book the exam. I'll try to see if I I can do that so that to help you. But you need to choose the time that's convenient. If it's in the morning, if it's 12 noon, you need to choose the time that will be convenient to you. And make sure that money you're going to pay it at the end of the booking. Like if you start booking at the end, before you finish, you submit your like request to book, you will pay that 289 US dollars. And at the test centers, I mean, test centers in Kenya, they don't charge you for anything. Most test centers, they don't charge you. If you've already paid for the exam, no one is going to charge you at the test center, like pay for this, pay for this. No, you just go there and you just do the exam, that's it. No one is going to ask you to pay for money or pay for equipment at the examination center. No, after you booked, it's only 299, that's it. You'll be good to go. Okay, another thing people are asking about this Prometric exam is the pass mark. Now, what's the pass mark of Prometric test? As for 2025, I mean, for Saudi, I think so, because most of people who have passed were above. Most of people who passed, the ones I know, most of them, no one was below 50. Now, when it comes to nursing degree, that's what I'm talking about. If it's diploma, if it's masters, if it's maybe doctors, if it's pharmacists, lab technicians, I don't know. But for nurses, I think it's above 50. You need to be above 50, from 50 to 100. That's what you need to get. That's the pass mark. Though some people say it's above 60, and I've seen people who got 50 something and they passed. So that's why I say I think it's 50. People pass, but if you're below 50, please, I don't think that would be a good idea. So that's what I think is the pass mark. As for 2025, maybe if they change it later, but as for 2025, if you get above 50, I'm telling you, you'll be good. But another thing is people asking about the format of Prometric test. How is this Prometric test is now? This Prometric test comes as a computer-based. There will be no paper or things like that. You're going to do it. It's computer-based. How many questions are there? Now, there are two sections in Prometric exam. There are two sections, Section A and Section B. Now, in Section 1, now what I'm talking about is as for 2025. They have not changed anything. So, the questions are in two sections, Section A and Section B. In Section A, you find 105 questions, 105 questions. MCQs, only MCQs. Section B, you're going to find, in Section B, you're going to find 105 questions. So all of them combined, it's 210 questions of Prometric test. That's the number of questions you're going to have. Now you can ask yourself for how deep are you supposed to study and understand the concepts. You can already imagine, because we have different understanding capacities and intelligence capacities. So you can decide to study however you feel like you understand best. So that's the format of the exam. It's 205. I mean 210. Not 205. It's 210 questions, all of them combined. Okay. Now, from which angle do they get the questions? When it comes to questions, when you apply for your Mumaris, when you apply for your Mumaris in Saudi Council for Health Specialties, or maybe you applied for Dubai, Abu Dhabi, I mean Qatar, things like that. When you apply for that one, when you apply for that registration, they will rank you, because you already ranked yourself, like maybe I'm a psychiatric nurse, I'm a midwife and things like that. They will know like which kind of exam to give you, like which kind of exam they're going to give you. But sometimes this nurse who told me, she is a psychiatric nurse and she was also booking for Saudi Arabia. When I asked her, like, how was your test, she told me, I'm a psychiatric nurse, but I'm telling you, like, questions come from all over. Like, you will find ICU questions there, you'll find medical questions there, you'll find fundamentals of nursing, you'll find this, like, leadership and management, you will find basic nursing, yeah, that's fundamental nursing, you find medical surgical, you'll find, you find emergency questions. So it's like, even if you're a midwife, don't just read about maternal and child care, or childbirth, or mechanism of delivery, things like that. Don't only read about this postnatal or antenatal or prenatal. Don't just read about those things. Make sure you read, like, generally. Go deep on your specialty, but make sure you also read other things, because if you think just because you're an emergency nurse, like, you cannot be asked about let's say leadership and management, they are going to ask you that question. They are going to ask you those questions because they want to know how is your understanding, how is your understanding generally. If you're a general nurse, of course you should read all the general, you should read fundamentals, medical surgical, you should read leadership and management, you should read, all those things you should read now. Okay. When it comes to reading, when it comes to preparing yourself for the Prometric exam, how should you, like, for how long should you prepare for it? Now, when it comes to how long, I don't know how long you should prepare yourself, but that depends on how good your head is. Seriously, I don't know how to say that, but for how long should you prepare for exam? For me, because I was still doing this process, the moment I started applying for my Mumaris, I had already started studying. Now there is an application called Prometric test, the one I used to study. I'm going to put the link to that application. It's a really good app. I'm not gonna lie, I solved almost every single question in that app. The good thing is it asks questions and answers, so it's like you're playing a game. How many questions? Now I'm going to give you my personal, like, advice on how I scheduled my study routine. How I don't quite remember because it's quite a while, but as far as I remember, I used to sleep early. I used to sleep at 9, if not 22 hours, if not 10 p.m., around 9:30, 10 p.m. But by 10 p.m. I had to go to bed, and I used to wake up at, I would only sleep for 6 hours and wake up at 3. Then now I don't know if that's midnight or it's early morning. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. because I liked waking up at that time because it was so quiet. It was so quiet. Wake up at 3 a.m. I was studying, solving. I had to solve 100 Prometric questions that morning. I would enter in that app, study those questions, 100 questions every single morning. 100 questions to 6 a.m. and around 6 a.m. I'll just go on doing my, like, other things, like cleaning and doing other businesses, and and I'll take some rest at around 10, as far as I remember, 10 to 12, I would start solving another 100 questions. Because these are not like difficult questions, it's just an app, and I already had a lot of material. Now, it's not about the number of questions you solve, it's about the concept you capture and understand. Don't just say, like, I'll solve a lot of questions, so that, now you need to solve a lot of questions when it comes to that, but don't just solve the questions without understanding the concept. Because what I realized, among all the questions I studied, questions that came like the same question, you see the same, typical, no change, no fail, like there were only few questions. Most of the questions that came, they did not come like an exact question. They just, it's the same question, but they bring it in another way. So if you have the concept and you understand that this is how it goes, you don't have to ask yourself twice. You know, like, this is the answer. So don't just like read a lot of questions just for the sake of it. Just understand the concepts that you're reading, and make sure when you read the question, make sure you like go deeper to understand. Do some research on the question. Do some research on the concept they are trying to ask, because they can change the format of the question, but they're asking the same concept. If you get what I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Solve a lot of questions. Now I will study again like 100 questions from Prometric, test up, and then I'll get some rest and maybe eat, do my lunch, do other things, and I would from 4 p.m. From 4 p.m. in the evening, like 4 p.m. to 6. Yeah, no, from 4 p.m. to 7. Yeah, 4 p.m. to 7. I would solve other 100 questions. So per day I used to solve 300 questions. I told myself, for those who know my story, after I failed 3 times, like not 3 times, after I failed twice the Tanzanian license, like I was really sad. I was really sad, and it's not like I did not study. And maybe I will make another video for those doing the Tanzanian license exam. I'll give my advice. I'll give my advice about how to go about that exam. Okay? Now, 300 questions per day, and from 7 I would go maybe prepare my dinner and just relax until either 9 or 10. Yeah, so within 24 hours I would solve 300 questions and maybe separate all other hours for relaxing and just doing whatever I want. So that's 24 hours are a lot of hours. You can do a lot of things. So make sure, that's why I'm telling you, just do the exam when you're still in your home country. Because when you come here, they give you a 12-hour shift. When you're from your shift, you're tired. I mean, people are tired. I have a lot of friends who came here before they did the exam, and I'm telling you, they call me and tell me like, I've not done my exam, and yeah, I see you posting about these things, and how do I go about it, things like that. But seriously, I'm telling you, you will have ample time when you're still in your home country, instead of just coming here and expecting that they are going to give you that time to study. No, you'll have to find that time for yourself. No one is going to tell you like, so today you're not going to come to shift because you're studying. No one is going to do that. No one is going to do that. All they want is you to have your license. Just get yourself a nice notebook and pen. Write all your routines in here. Don't just say don't just say it in your head like, I'll start at this time or at this time. No, just get yourself a notebook. Write everything that you need. Write all your plans for your Prometric test. You can also use it to write the key concepts, you can also use it to write the key concepts and things that you think that are going to help you, and write all your achievements. If you planned to study maybe 50 questions to solve 50 questions in a day, and you did it, make sure you tick there that I did it. If you did not accomplish something, don't feel bad. Just sit down and evaluate the day, how the day went. How did you perform? How did you perform on the things that you plan to do for your Prometric test in that day? Put a goal like, fine, you want to pass, but how are you going to do it? You cannot, don't just say in your head like I'm going to study. Get yourself a nice notebook and plan for your day. Plan how you're going to study. Go to Prometric exam if you plan to study 50 questions in a day, if you plan to solve, if you plan to do anything. I mean, just write it here and make sure you evaluate so that you can make yourself ready and know your progress. Write the key concepts, that the things you think that maybe you don't want to forget, write them in this small notebook, and trust me, it's going to make a very huge difference when you have had maybe 2-3 months of preparation. You're going to see your progress in this notebook. That's what I'm talking about. So make sure that I insist, you'll be so much free, you'll be so much like, yeah, relaxed when you're studying, so that your head is capturing all the concepts so that you can go and beat that exam. Another question people are asking about Prometric, like for how long does it take to get your your results? As for me, I remember, let me see from how many days were left. Let's say 18. It can take 1 month, 1 month and 2 weeks. Yeah, it can take 1 month and 2 weeks to get your results. Maybe something like from 30 to 40 days you will get your results, and results come in pass and fail. So you either pass or you fail. There is no in between. So hopefully you will book for your exam when you're relaxed, when you've prepared yourself well enough to go and do that exam, because I don't pray for you to repeat that exam. I've been in the situation of repeating an exam. Is so exhausting. I'm telling you, it is so exhausting. Put in that energy, schedule your what's this? Make a routine, make your schedule, put some time to rest, eat well, have ample sleep, like get some adequate sleep. I mean, it's nice when you prepare for the exam when you relax. Of course, there are people who came here and maybe they went and did the exam, they passed. Well and good, congratulations. But are there people who come here and they are so exhausted? Absolutely, I'm telling you. That's it for today's video. Hope this makes you feel more prepared for your Prometric test. If you have any questions, drop them on my comments and I'll be glad to answer them. Like, comment and share, and subscribe on my channel for more nursing related contents. See you in my next video and good luck.